great to see you all here. This is super fun and exciting. I can't believe I have you all here inside a screen inside my living room right now. Amazing. Um, so today we're here to talk about the Startup Visa Accelerator, and more specifically, Spring's Impact Star Visa Accelerator. So I'm super, super excited to talk to you about this. So yes, if you have any comments, of course, put in the chat box. I may not see it right away, so please don't take offense to that. It's just my eyes can only focus on one thing at a time. I have some colleagues in the room too who can also help moderate some of the questions and make sure I don't miss anyone. So first of all, just I would love to, I'm looking at the chat box right now. I'd love to know who's in Vancouver right now, or more so Canada. Who's in Canada right now? Just put, I'm in Canada. Or if you're not, put where you are. See if we can. Cool, we got Paul in Vancouver, Jonathan in US. Oh, Colombia. Then we have Toronto, Edmonton, more Vancouver. Yeah, wow, cool. Europe, we got Europe. Love it. Nigeria, amazing. Scotland. Awesome. Okay, amazing. I love this program specifically because we get so many people from all over the world, and it's so fun. More than anything, it's so fun. And it's an amazing experience to learn from you as you learn from me. So let's get started talking about what this program's all about. So first, I want to acknowledge that we live, work, and play on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people. So it's important to me that we acknowledge that and know where we're standing. This is a bit of agenda for today, just to know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Spring. That's the company I'm a program manager for, and this is where we hold our program. I'm going to talk a bit about the Star Visa program. So that's the general Star Visa program from IRCC Canada. And then I'm going to talk about the Impact Star Visa Accelerator. That's the one I run with Spring. And then we're going to get into a bit of the application process, and after that, we'll see if we have some time for some Q&A. So a little bit about myself, like who am I? Who are you talking to here? My name is Tiffany Shen. Once again, I'm currently the program manager for the Star Visa program for Spring. However, I am a serial entrepreneur. I've been in the food business, clothing business, done graphics and many different things. And I started off with a mindset of entrepreneur at a very young age. That was from my father, who is an entrepreneur. He definitely inspired me. Every time I wanted something as a kid, he would always be like, how do you make a business off that? I was like, Dad, I just want crayons, But entrepreneurship's amazing. It's fun. It's a great way to learn a lot about yourself. So I definitely, very much encourage, if you have that in you to want to start something, listen to that dream. So now I'm here helping a lot of entrepreneurs with their dreams, and this is because I've joined Spring to join their mission of changing the world through entrepreneurship. Why? Because we believe in change, because we want to build an awesome world, and we know that when we build great businesses, we empower others to do the same. So at Spring, that means fostering the social, environmental, and financial sustainability into all the businesses we work with. This is a bit about Spring, like the different things that we do to help with the ecosystem, help build better business, better world through business. So you can see we have quite a breadth of different touch points we have with the ecosystem. This is a bit of our metrics. We've worked all around the world. We've helped people raise money. We have lots of alumni and over 500 companies supported. I think this number keeps on moving because every day we help more and more companies. So it's definitely growing, and hoping that you'll join us. This is the map of where we've worked. So I personally with Spring have actually gone to Eastern Europe, to Asia, to many different places, also within Canada. So I've gone to the Yukon and worked with different businesses, to entrepreneurs and ecosystems and businesses to help them make the world a better place through their business. All right, that's about Spring. Let's talk about the Star Visa program. So the Star Visa program is a Canadian governmental program. It is started because the purpose of it is to help people immigrate to Canada by starting business and creating jobs and support innovative entrepreneurs. So the bit of history behind this is Canada, recognized back in the day that Canada needed more innovation, and that was going to come through entrepreneurs. And so this was a way to attract entrepreneurs to come to Canada and help support this innovation ecosystem, get Canada going, and create jobs for the Canadians in here. So amazing, amazing program, amazing way to move to Canada. So these are some of the goals. So it's good to know what the goals are of the Star Visa program from Canada. So it targets immigrant entrepreneurs with the skills and potential to build businesses that are innovative. So something that's, uses innovation, creating jobs for Canadians. So that's a big goal for the Canadian RIRCC, is to make sure that we are able to grow jobs for Canadians. And that this is a business that can compete on global scale and scale, so it can grow. It can truly, truly grow. So, okay, once again, this is all stuff that you can find on the website. I'm just putting it out here for you so that you know, and that you can get a better understanding of it right now before you even head in. I know there's a lot. The government tends to have a lot of pages on their website, right? So, these are some of the things you need to know that that allow you to be eligible for the Star Visa program. So first, you have to have a qualifying business, which we'll go through what that means. You need a letter of support from designated organization. We'll also go through what that means. You need to meet the language requirements set out by Canada, and you need to have enough money to settle in Canada. And so those are the requirements to determine if you're eligible for the Star Visa program. All right. Now we'll get into, okay, what does that even mean? So to qualify, a qualifying business means the following. So one of the things is each applicant has to hold 10% of the voting rights attached to all the shares of the corporation at the time. So this doesn't mean forever. This means right now when you're applying, this is what needs to stand, that each applicant needs to hold 10% of the voting rights. Up to 5 people can apply in the Star Visa application, and that includes the CEO, everyone. So the other part that you need to have, and so this is not or, is that applicants in the designated organization need to jointly hold more than 50% of the voting rights attached to all the shares of the corporation at that time. And what that means is what I want to say is what they don't want to see happen is that your business is owned by a foreign entity that gets to make all the decisions that happens to you in Canada. They want to make sure that the people who are applying for PR, the people who are coming to Canada, have the control over the company and thus can make the best decisions for that company while they're in Canada. And then, so that's the application. At the time you receive your permanent residence, so this is the time, like you apply for PR, you're gonna have to wait a bit, and you receive you'll receive your PR. During that time, you must be active in your business and managing this business from Canada. You also need to be an essential part of your business. So or the part of your business needs to happen in Canada. So that means your operations, your headquarters needs to be in Canada. And this business needs to be incorporated in Canada. So there's all things that you need to know what makes a qualifying business for the ISV or the Star Visa program. All right, letter of support. So you read earlier, okay, you need to get a letter of support from a designated entity. What does that mean? The letter of support is a governmental official document that says, okay, this designated entity recognizes that this business, this entrepreneur is, legit, and they want to see them come to Canada. They believe that they are going to be able to scale and create business or great jobs for Canadians. A designated organization is, you don't just apply for it, you actually need to be vetted to be a designated organization. And Spring Activator is one of those designated organizations. So if you end up coming to do participate in the Star Visa program with Spring, we would be the designated entity that would issue a letter of support to all our participants that come through our program. And this letter of support says, hey, we know this business, we vouch for them, we believe they're going to do well in Canada, and they are who they say they are. So that's kind of the golden ticket letter. So, and then on our side, we would send the commitment certificate to the IRCC. We would give you the letter of support, and you would take that letter of support and use it along with your application when you do your work permit or PR. So speaking of work permits, while you're waiting for a PR, so permanent residency, when I say PR, permanent residency, you can also apply for a temporary work permit. So that you can work on your business while you're waiting. Makes sense, right? So just know that that's available. I often get, some of the questions I often get is like, what's the processing time? On their website, they're going to say about 12 to 16 months. My range that I've seen is anywhere from 2 months to 2 years. So, you know, the fastest someone's applications come through is in 2 months, and the slowest it's been 2 years. I do not know what they're looking for, how fast. I cannot urge them to do that faster. That's not something that the designated entity does. That's totally still on the government side. We are just, as a designated entity, we just act, you know, as a deliverable, we just deliver the program and vouch for the company. They don't give us any secret insight. Sorry, guys. All right. So next, eligibility for the Star Visa program, you need to make sure that you meet the language requirements. And that language requirements is you need to meet the Canadian language benchmark. And their benchmark is 5, and that's in speaking, reading, listening, writing. Now you can actually, you know, be able to pass the language in either French or English. The ones I have up here is in English. That's because that's what we that's how we deliver our programs in English. But the CELPIP and the, I can never say that, EILTS, general training, there's actually 2, academic training and general training. Make sure it's a general training. Those are the 2 approved language tests that you need to pass to be able to be eligible for the Star Visa program. All right. So I mentioned that the government of Canada wants to make sure you have enough financial support to be able to come to Canada. So that's mainly just they want to see that you you know, have proof that you can support yourself and your dependents when you arrive at Canada. And this is money you cannot borrow from another person. So this is something you would have to show in a bank statement that you have, and it can't be you know, attached to anything like a loan. And this is, you can find this on their website. So this is a bit of a graph, like, okay, how many family members are dependent on you? That's the amount of money you need to show on the right. The IRCC updates these amounts every year. So you want to keep checking back depending on when you apply. This does not include any of the program fees or the money that you actually, you know, any other money that you need to settle in Canada. What they mainly want to see is just like you have some money that for you to come to Canada and be able to, you know, get a place to live, sleep, or eat, different things like that. Okay, so how do you apply? How do you apply to a Star Visa program? So there's that handy dandy link down there, which, oh, I can't, oops. I was going to see if I copy paste it, put it in the chat, but I can't do that here. But it is on the website. If you look up Canada Startup Visa, you should be able to find this link on there, and all this information is on there. So how you apply is, first, they have an application package. They have some fees they want for submitting the package, and then you submit your application. So this is something that I would, you know, it's not a must to have. You can absolutely do this yourself, but us as Spring definitely recommend engaging in the services of an immigration consultant. And we actually have a couple that we've worked with before, or more so our applicants have worked with before, that we can recommend to people. The reason is there's a lot of legalese and just wording that can get quite confusing. And we've had people who didn't work with an immigration consultant before make mistakes on their applications that they didn't realize, that we didn't even realize, and prevented their applications from going through smoothly. Eventually they got figured out, but it took a lot of, it took a lot more effort, a bit of uncertainty, and it was a lot more pain. So this is something we would recommend, speaking to an immigration consultant for, who can manage that for you and just help you understand what the words really mean, what you really need to have and put down their application to make sure you're communicating exactly what they need to know about you. And then after you apply, so you apply to the government, you have our support, with life support, all that stuff. This is just a checklist of things that the government's going to want you to do and that they will do. So this is all your responsibility to do yourself. We're not going to do help you take get your fingerprints taken or photo taken or any of that. Or get medical exams and that. This is up for you to do. And this is also the part where I also having an immigration consultant really is helpful, because they know this part. So remember, you're responsible for all this this checklist, which is also on the website. All right. So I mentioned that you could have temporary work permits while you're waiting for your permanent residency. Yay, because you can work on your business here then. Okay, so some of the things that you want to know before you can apply for this work permit, you would want to let your designated entity know that you want to apply for the work permit, because that does change a few things that we need to include on your application or your letter support / commitment certificate. So commitment certificate is the one that we give to the government, and letter support is the one that we give to you. But there's a couple of details in there that we need to include if we know that you're going to be applying for a temporary work permit, or one of your colleagues and teammates are going to be applying for a temporary work permit. So, that's something you won't need to know. This applies for everyone except Quebec. Quebec has their own thing, I guess. You need to pay an employer compliance fee. So technically you're employing yourself. And so there is a process where you have to pay that fee of employing yourself and to issue yourself a work permit, essentially. That's also a process that we leave to the immigration consultants to help with. And you need to have the commitment certificate and the letter of support from a designated entity, indicating that you're essential. And so that's one of the things that we need to include in there if we know that you want to apply for a temporary work permit. And then there's a couple, we have to give actually business description of reasoning to help support the urgency of you needing to work in Canada. So those are all things that are important to let your designated entity know if you want to apply for a temporary work permit early on, before the application actually gets sent through, right? You also need to have sufficient funds to meet the low income cutoff for your family for 52 weeks. So the proof of funds is a bit higher if you want a temporary work permit. All the different information is all on the website, and you can find that information up there. I'm just seeing a couple of things in the chat and come up through. I do not know how much the employer compliance fee is. That's something that, like I said, since we don't take care of, I haven't looked into. The commitment certificate and the letter support, once again, is the paperwork that the designated entity gives to the government and to the applicant participant to show that they're supporting them and their business to come to Canada under this program. Any questions so far? Okay, I'm gonna go into, let's check out, any questions? Let's see, age restrictions for applicants of the ISV. That's a good question. That's actually, I'm not 100% sure on that. I want to say it's for probably people 18 or 19 or older, but I'm not 100% sure. That's something that probably good to check out. I'm guessing, I think, yeah, something good to check out. Does postgraduate work permit holder eligible in the program West Stand Canada? So we have a lot of applicants are actually people, a lot of times people who are already in Canada. They decide they love it here. You know, you may have come here to study and you're like, hey, I love it here. Hey, I have a cool idea. And you go forward with that idea and you have a business start in Canada. You're like, great, I have a business start in Canada and I love Canada. I want to stay in Canada. So we do get people applying, and that's totally legit to already be in Canada. What you can't have is already a PR application going through in the system. So it's for people who do not have any PR application in the system yet, or are not permanent residents yet. We get tons and tons of applications. So we process them as they come in. So please just continue sending your applications through the website. That's the best way for us to make sure that we get it. And just because not all applications come through emails all the time. Let's see. How long does it take to get a temporary work permit now, given COVID, after giving? Okay, good question. COVID. Okay, COVID did change a few things for us, and I'll get into a little bit of how also the program changed because of COVID. But one of the things that has happened is in the last some months, you know, the IRCC did stop processing for a while. Now they're back processing. So things this year has been different than other years. The temporary work permits usually come fairly fast. Like when people come to Canada, they usually get it at the border. So they're issued fairly fast. Given now that no one could come through the border, the governmental offices were shut down for a while. That was slowed down over the last some months. Now we're starting to see things come back into processing and processing applications with the IRCC. It is a bit slower than usual, but I have a rep that I work with at IRCC that I stay in touch with all the time, asking them for updates. And you know, I'm able to get the updates as soon as I can and communicate that to my cohort when I get those updates. Is if a non-essential member rejects, will affect the whole team? Yes, that is why we need to know if, you know, if someone wants a work permit, and to talk to the business, to the applicant about it, because only essential members can actually apply for temporary work permits. But if one essential member is rejected, that does affect the whole team, because essential means you absolutely have to be in the business for the business to run. And yes, we do still have spots available for November. Absolutely. All right. There's a bunch of questions. I'm going to continue going forward, and I'm going to ask one of my colleagues to just collect some of the questions and make sure that we to either answer them if they have the answer, or we can address them a bit later. Okay, ready to move your business to Canada? Want to change the world with your business? I hope I hear yes. I hope you're all saying yes. All right, let's do this. So Spring's Impact Star Visa Accelerator is different from the other Star Visa programs out there. The way it's different, it's the only impact-driven Star Visa program. And what that means is, you know, we support businesses that consider changing the world for better, for people, for the environment, with their business model. So that's how we're different from the other Star Visa programs. We're located in Vancouver, but now over the last, over this year, like 2020, we did move our sessions online. We will still be offering in-person and online deliveries. For right now, things will stay online until we get further notice from the government that it's safe to have people come into Canada. So right now, we're located in Vancouver. If the applicants happen to be in Vancouver, they're still invited to come meet with us and come to our office and be in our space. All right. So we are a designated entity under the Start Visa program. So we've met the eligibility and criteria to be able to do this. Our accelerator, once again, is for companies that are purpose driven, and the accelerator itself is 4 months with 2 days a week. So what that might look like is for example, Monday, we have our topic session. We'll have some group huddles, which means they're kind of like founder chats. We'll also have workshopping, let's say on Monday. And then on a Wednesday, we'll have a guest speaker come in and then networking. So that is generally the schedule for every week. But throughout the weeks, there's also, you also get a mentor that you will be meeting with on your own, and that's someone we introduce you to, or a couple people we introduced you to. There's, also EIR office hours, meaning if you have a question or you have something you really want to work with, more help with, you have time to talk to either me or one of my colleagues about what you're working on. Our team at Spring is super diverse in our backgrounds and knowledge, amazing knowledge to draw from. So you're welcome to come in and say, hey, I need some directed help with this, and we help you with that. So that's what the 4 months look like. So, so you're wondering, okay, so ISV, is it for you? So we specifically, like I said, work with purpose-driven and for-profit companies. So it's considered under a social venture. So it's companies that, once again, they're making money, it's for-profit, but your business model includes a model that helps the earth, helps people. It is a social good in your model. And I want to emphasize that doesn't mean, I'm in healthcare, so automatically it's a social venture. No, it means that inside the model. So some of the companies, let's see, we can say like building more eco-friendly homes, right? Using shipping containers to build eco-friendly homes. Or we had another company that was, helping people with disabilities gain employment in tech. Yeah, we definitely have our alumni on our webpage, so you can definitely check out what kind of companies those are to kind of get a good feel of whether that fits your company and who you are. Later on, I'll also talk a bit about some of our alumni, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. You also need to make sure you meet the STAR visa requirements by the IRCC. That's something that we need you to make sure that you do meet that criteria. You want to make sure you want to actually move to Canada. I love Canada. I'm immigrant to Canada. I've been here 16 years, love it. So if you're asking me, I recommend it. But you need to make sure for yourself you actually want to move to Canada. And within your business, you need to make sure you can demonstrate that your business shows that you actually have customers who want to engage with your business. So it's not a business idea stage. It's generally a launch or just about launch or past launch stage that it's already churning a bit of revenue and customers. You also want to make sure your vision for your business actually makes sense for moving to Canada. So the reasoning, part of the application process for us, we're going to be asking, why Canada? Why do you want to move here? How does this serve your business, and how does this serve Canada? So you need to be able to answer that. And overall, this cohort is a very collaborative group. Even online, it's been very collaborative group. So know that you're going into a group environment that requires you to, listen to each other, help each other out, and be a community together. So it's best for people who enjoy that and thrive in that environment. What you get from us when you engage in this Impact Star Visa program with Spring, we support you in moving your life and business to Canada. That's something we know that moving is stressful, like moving PR, government, it can be really, really stressful. And then you're moving your business. So we support you with doing both. We connect you with the Canadian ecosystem. So one of the strengths of Spring is we're really widely connected in Canada and globally, but Canada is, where our home base is. So we connect you with our ecosystem. We give you the training and mentorship, like I said before, for doing your business in Canada. And we also go through, really emphasize also how to maximize your impact on the world. If you're impact business, we know that when you grow, so is your impact. So we want to help you grow your impact, right? We also, another thing we help with is helping businesses and entrepreneurs learn how to raise capital effectively as an impact business. And that's something that's super exciting because, impact businesses, they do raise a little bit differently. And you have different things that you're looking at. So how do you present that? How do you do that? We help you with that. And of course, we give the letter support for the participants that come into our program for their accelerated PR. Oops. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you a little peek into the topics we cover. So we start off with smart goal setting. We help you learn how to navigate the Canadian ecosystem. Just even basically how to do business here, right? We help you also discover your customers and what they really want, so that when you launch here, you're hitting the ground running. And we help you understand, measuring your impact, how to measure how much impact you're making with business. Where do you want to go with it? How do you get there, right? And then, some of the other topics like sales, selling without, the way I like to put it is like selling without feeling icky. For a lot of people, sales can be icky, but when you're in an impact business, it's still important to sell in your business. But how do you do it and feel good that you're doing the right way, that you're actually connecting with your customer rather than just sell. That's a pretty fun topic. And then, of course, funding your business and scaling your business, pitching, one of my personal favorites, growing your business fast, and lots more. So this is just a bit of a peek into what we cover, and so that you can get a little bit of a feel of the different topics we cover. All right, how do you apply to this Impact Star Visa with Spring? So this is on our webpage, right? But I'm going to put it here. So first, you want to make sure that you are you meet the requirements for the Star Visa program with Canada, but then you also need to make sure we meet our requirements, because, like I said, we're a little bit different as a program than other Star Visa programs. We are for purpose-driven, or we say impact-curious companies. So that's something you want to take a look at, is our requirements, to make sure that if it jives with you. All right, and then you apply. There's an apply button on our website, which I'll pull up later, and you simply apply there. We have a screening process where it's a pretty thorough screening process of interviews and going through who you are, who your business is. And then with the people that are accepted, we give them the letter of support for the Canadian Star Visa program, and then you can submit that. So I'm going to tell you a bit about our application screening process that most people don't get to know about until they actually go apply to our website. So the screening process comes in, I would say, it says 6 items here, but it's really the first 4. So first, you give us our application. Our team looks at it, we review it, and say, okay, does this sound like someone that fits what we're looking for? If yes, you are moved to a first interview on Zoom, so or somewhere online. It could be Zoom or any video call, but we interview you to learn more about you, learn more about your business, hear more about what your vision is. If that interview is accepted, and we would move you through to the due diligence documents phase. That's when we ask for your business plan. That's when we ask for your financials, and we have actually quite a list of documents that we ask for at that stage. So we're not, asking everyone to, and that's why you don't see it in the application form early on if you already have applied. It's because we ask for it at that stage, the third stage, after the first interview, that we want to have all your documents. We don't think it's fair to have everyone's documents if we're not, if you haven't moved to that stage. So the due diligence documents with all your business plan, financials, all the good stuff comes in the third stage, we'll review the documents and say, okay, does it still look like someone that is fit for our program? If so, then you'll be asked to a second interview. And the second interview is once again on a video online, and it is likely with another person from our team. So we have different people reviewing at different times in our process because we all want to make sure that you actually are a good fit for our program, and to just get different perspective of the application itself. So the second review is where we really deep dive into your business. Now we've seen your documents, we've seen your business plan. We have a conversation about, you know, the vision, your plan, your launch plan, different things like that. So after the second review, should you go forward, we decide, you know, you're a good fit for us, and you still want to come into the program, we give you an offer. We give you an offer letter. And should you accept, then that's when we issue the term sheet, which is binding our saying, yes, you know, I accept this offer. I want to work with Spring. And then after that is when we would give the letter of support and the commitment certificate. So, and I just saw this pop up, and then we, you know, it's good to know that we actually don't collect any equity from you for this program. All right, some of the costs. So these are the costs for the program. No equity once again, but the costs are $25,000 plus GST Canadian for the first applicant. And if you want to bring in team member as applicants, so like I said, each application can have up to 5 people. If they're going to be joining the program itself, like the format program, that would be $7,000 Canadian plus GST for each additional member. If they're just on the application and they're just, but they're not attending the program, that would be $3,000 plus GST. And so 5 max on the applicant, that includes the main applicant as well. Okay, so this is a sample of our speakers. Like I said, we have a wide network of people in the Canadian ecosystem, amazing impact-driven, you know, entrepreneurs, service providers, investors, the whole works. These are 4 of some of my favorite speakers that have come to speak at ISV. So Christy O'Leary, who talks about impact strategy and how to make your business more impactful and how to make sure it's super impactful. Joel Solomon, he of Renewal Funds. He is one of the local leads on impact investing, along with Mike Winterfield. They're both actually from the world of impact investing. So great people to have connections with and talk to. Shannon Ward does she's a sales, she talks about sales, but she does it in a way, I would like to say, how to sell without feeling like a jerk, which I absolutely love. Because, you know, sales can feel icky sometimes, but like I said, it's important that you're able to sell in your business, especially when you're impact business, because what you're actually selling is like going to create better impact in the world. So she helps you learn how to not do it without, or to do it without feeling like a jerk. Love it. Alumni. Okay, so this is definitely not our alumni, but this is all the logos that could meaningfully fit onto this slide without making it look completely too over packed. So I'll talk about each of these companies and just kind of give you an idea of who they are, so you can see, oh, okay, does it sound like someone, like, you know, does it sound like the vibe that I am too, right? So each cohort has about 10 to 15 companies in there. So we average probably around 12 to 13 just to see, because we want to be able to choose the ones that are truly fit for the cohort. So starting with Minuk is, so Raul is someone who was already in Canada. He was here in Canada studying, and he has a dog with him and that he loves, and he cares so deeply about the health of his dog. And he realized he wanted better, healthier options for dog treats and dog food. So he created Minuk, which I believe means my friend. I can't remember which language it is, but it means my friend. And he created a sustainable dog treat out of black fly larvae. And once again, he was already in Canada. He started this business and decided, I want to stay here with my dog and have healthy food for them. So that's one of our alumni. Chocolata. Chocolata is a woman from Switzerland. She makes vegan chocolates, which was, from what I hear, very unacceptable in Switzerland because chocolate there needed to be milk. But she recognized for people with allergies and just different needs for food, they still want to enjoy chocolate, and she wanted to be able to create a really premium chocolate, and that was enjoyable for them. That was vegan, so also accounting for the fact that a lot of animal-based foods isn't great for the environment. So she wanted to create something that was special for that. And she decided, Canada's a place where we're more health-centric, right? Holistic Gourmet Institute, that's helping people learn how to cook healthier food, also using vegan philosophy to help people understand what health really is and to improve your health. Also addressing, more more ethnic foods, so a variety of ethnic foods that are easy to make recipes for people. We have VC Academy, which is helping people break into impact venture capitalism. So her academy helps people. I think she also works with a lot of women too. There's, I think, a women specific class, but generally almost our classes for anyone to learn more about impact investing. Rumi Earth. Rumi is a sustainable materials company. They've made a super all natural material that you can use for many different applications. The first application they brought the material into is for yoga mats. So they started making yoga mats and tools with this super sustainable, all natural material. So they're hoping to, find different uses for this material and help people just have more natural, sustainable materials around them. Hanscart is a company that works with small artisans, often in small communities, learn how to create artisan goods, and create a meaningful livelihood for people who normally wouldn't have that. And it's an online platform that allows them to still live in the community, but create these great artisan gifts. Awe Academy is a progressive learning company that's helping young minds learn things that they normally wouldn't have access to, such as, I think, neuroscience, space, different things like that. Canada Special Tours is a tour company that is accessible for people with disabilities, and they also tour around Canada, stopping at all the Indigenous locations and learning about the history of Canada. So that's a very different kind of tour company, pretty cool. And then Joan of Art is a company of two women who make inspiring art gifts for people. So this is we do have a bit of a variety of different companies that we take. This is definitely not all the different industries. We have people who have built eco tiny homes, like I said, people who are also in business services. We have had also people who are services like equity, diversity, inclusions consultants. So we have a variety of different businesses coming through, but you can kind of see just get a taste of the businesses that we've taken. All right. So the next cohort is April 2021. It's going to be online delivery, and that's so that we can just address the regulations from the government right now in terms of borders, and not stress anyone about the borders. So we've been given permission to do everything online. So it's online delivery, and you can apply on our website. All right. This is when we open up to questions. All right. I think we have 15 minutes left. Okay. I'm going to try to scroll up to where I left off. There's a lot of questions, so I'm sorry if I don't scroll to the right place. Okay. Let's see. All right. I see the last one I see that possibly wasn't answered was Jerome. Can the technology come from Canada while the entrepreneur comes from outside as a co-founder? So the technology, so one of the things to know is your IP needs to be owned by the company. So that's something that's important to know. The entrepreneur, let's see. I need a little more clarification about that question, I think. Can the technology come from Canada while the entrepreneur comes from outside as a co-founder? So the entrepreneur that is on the application, once again, needs to at least own 50%, or yeah, it needs to own 50% or more of that company. I say the entrepreneur because in the IRCC website it says designate entity and or the entrepreneur. However, since we don't take any equity, we actually just, you know, it's up to the entrepreneur. So they need to have ownership of that company. Hope that answers that. Asking about the actual content of the letter of support. It is a template that is given to us by the IRCC. So it is a form. So we fill out this form. I think it's like the commitment certificate and the letter of support together is probably like 4 pages, I believe. Okay, when we say we focus on business with impact, do they need to be nonprofits? So we actually only take for-profit companies. So those are the types of companies we take. Once again, it has to be impact, purpose-driven, and for-profit. Oh, thank you, Raphael, for letting us know. Employer compliance fee is $230. If there are 5 people attending one SUV startup, is everyone essential? So not everyone needs to be essential in the application, but it's important to know that if you do need to be essential for your work permit and to get a work permit. But if one person is that's essential is denied, that affects everyone. So not everyone has to be essential, but the ones applying for work permit do, and they will affect the application. So we look for companies, any company with a new idea and instantly to develop. So we only take companies that can show some traction once again. So it's not for companies in ideation. I'm not too sure what Hemant you mean by the process of hiring someone on a Star Visa program visa. It's not to hire, it's to bring your team over. It's for you to come. I'm not, Andy John, I'm not too sure. I love your graph, but I'm not too sure what you mean. So maybe grab me, maybe clarify a little bit later about what that means. Where do I apply for someone? So look online. Well, the criteria, like I said, is online. Look online. Look at the Star Visa program. If you're interested in Springs, look at our website. And so does the company need to be profitable before applying? So we need to see that the company is revenue positive. So we need to, or is getting there. Like we are, I will say we have some been a little flexible, but we really need to see that the company has has traction, is able to grow. And once again, like the IRCC one, their criteria is that they're looking for people to create jobs for people. So generally we're looking for businesses that are a little more mature or have launched, let's say, launched are profitable, more mature than ideation stage. And okay, some questions about how long the sessions are. Once I said earlier, it's 4 months, 2 days a week. And Ashwin, so your question was about if the company incorporates start PR application, person waits for PR the process. So your company can, once again, you can operate your company under a temporary work visa. And all the fees all the information, once again, is online. if I can get Camilla or Nadia, or someone from my team to post our link. Actually, do I have it? Let's see if I can do this. Here, this is our website. So absolutely go to our website and check it out if you're interested in it. So some of the, okay, I think, let me see if there's more. Let's see. No. Okay, let's see if there's, no. So impact business, what is it? If you're wondering what impact business is, still touching on the UN SDGs is somewhere you could look at, is like, do you fit one of those SDGs? Are you a B Corp? You know, it's in the model. So that's something that if you're wondering what impact business means to us, those are some good places to check out. So, okay. So if we're not in Canada, so Andre, you asked, what if we're not in Canada and the spring incubation program is online, how to make a case to be admitted at the border? If the border is open, then that's something that if you, okay, so this is something interesting to know. There are some companies coming through as essential companies, essential businesses, but that is under a different, they call it NOC code as a STAR visa program. Right now, that was within the last 6 months. Right now, I am not sure what the difference is, like what, you know, if it'd be faster to just stick with the STAR visa NOC code or to enter enter that NOC code. But that's why they've also given us, the IRCC has given us permission to run this program online, because they know, okay, people, you know, our borders are closed. We can't expect people to come in. If you do have a PR already, you can come in. That's the, you know, that's their regulations right now. So that's something that is a bit tricky. This is also a reason why I recommend working with an immigration consultant. I have learned a lot over my time working with this program. However, I am not an immigration consultant and do not know the details of how to get you across the border. So that's something you will want to talk to an immigration consultant with. And once again, we do have someone we can recommend, introduce you to if you need help with that, because that is not my specialty. So, okay, let's see. Okay, so someone asked, is there a list of due diligence documents on your website or that we can get? Okay, so this is something I'm gonna just talk about so you could just know and prepare for, because I know, you know, when people get that email, we expect people to have those documents already. But it can be nice to be able to prepare for it. So we look for references. So we look for business references. This is not friends and family. These are people you've done business with. We look for references. We look for like I said, your financial statements. So your forecast statement, any kind of financial statements. We look for your business plan. Now, your business plan doesn't have to be really long. Like, we work with the Lean Startup Campus all the time. We understand the importance of doing. So it's just something, a bit of a go-to strategy, what you plan to do. We want to know, you know, if you come to Canada, like, what's your plan? What are you going to do? When are you going to do it? So a lot of those documents around getting into information like that. Whew. All right, let's see. I'm gonna, okay, someone asked, if my business partner does not speak English, as a Canadian, can I approach you together with my business like to attend the interview? So for your business partner to be an applicant, they need to pass the English requirements too. So this is something important to know. All the applicants that are on the application need to pass the startup visa requirements, everyone. So that means your business partner in June needs to actually pass the Canadian language benchmark as well, with one of those tests. Okay. All right. Let's see. So Camilla actually posted a program pack and so did Nadia, the info pack for this program. I recommend that you download that. It gives you all the information past this session in one place for you to refer to. Once again, if you email us, you may not get a response right away because we have so many people applying. The best, and you'll probably get the same response, which is to look on the website and read the information and apply. We don't want to give anyone else, anyone an unfair advantage. So, when we go through our applications, we try our best to go through them fairly. And that's, so really the application is the best way to get yourself in the system. And so at this point, I think we have 3 minutes left. I'm going to say thank you so much for your interest. I hope that, some of you are interested, leave here interested in the Star Visa program. I can say myself, moving to Canada was one of the best things I've done. And, Impact Star Visa program with Spring is amazing because, you know what, if we're going to create a business, let's do it so that we change the world for good, right? We can feel good about it. We can feel good about it with each other. Let's do this together. So I really hope I see some of your applications in the pool. And thank you so much for having me here.